If you are over wondering what you can even eat anymore, you're watching the right video, because today I want to cut through some of that bullshit that is out there about nutrition and diets. I am sure that you're really sick of wondering what diet to do or what nutrition plan to follow in order for you to get results. Well, I actually have really good news for you, because I don't want you to follow any diet or nutrition plan in order to get results. There are so many diets out there. I'm sure you've heard of a number of them, such as Atkins, keto, paleo, and in the end of the day, someone is making a lot of money from these diets. And whether it's a nutrition plan or a diet, it's always restrictive, right? So if we look at the paleo diet, it's all about cutting out carbs, right? So we're cutting out a really vital macronutrient, focusing on eating a lot of proteins and fats, and obviously vegetables as well. So what it does in the end of the day is it's cutting out calories. So if you've been eating oats for breakfast and now you're following the paleo diet, all of a sudden cutting out carbs, which means cutting out oats, and you might be swapping that for something else, you're cutting out calories. So if we look at that in a broader field, in a wider perspective, what this is telling us is that following a certain diet, and it doesn't matter what diet it is, it's always about cutting something out. Cutting something out, again, means you decreasing your calories, which eventually will probably help you to lose some weight or lose some fat. Now, what if I could tell you that you don't need to screw up your headspace and your relationship with food in order to achieve those same results, if you instead could educate yourself how to achieve that, instead of looking for the next best nutrition plan, looking for the next best diet in order for you to get there. So let's just put this really simple. If this is your daily calorie bucket, I'm not good at drawing, but I'm trying. If this is your daily calorie bucket and you filling up this calorie bucket on a daily basis, this is gonna totally look reverse. I just wrote calories here. So if this is your daily calorie bucket and you are currently maintaining your weight, which means you every day filling up this calorie bucket. Now, when we talk about a healthy fat loss plan or healthy weight loss, it's about us being on a 10% deficit. So instead of filling this calorie bucket up to 100%, we're now filling it up to about here. So 90%, yeah? So all you need to learn is how to achieve that 10% deficit. So see how, in order to achieve that, you need to educate yourself how you can make this 10% calorie deficit work, as opposed to starting the next best diet, which means, for example, you cutting out all your carbs. And then when you eat carbs again, you end up back at the starting point where you were before, and you have to start all over again. The other issue with those diets is that very often, because we're cutting something out, we're all of a sudden putting ourselves in a 30 or 40% calorie deficit, and that actually screws up our metabolism. Now, we don't want that at all. So let's just make this really clear. Don't look for the next diet. Don't look for the next nutrition plan. Start to educate yourself around food, and your 10% calorie deficit might be looking very different to your friends or to mine, but you need to find what works for you. So what I want you to walk away with today is, screw diets. They always do more harm than they do you any good. All macronutrients are good for you. You're gonna need all macronutrients all the time. Now, of course, diets have their place. If someone has Hashimoto's, gluten might not be that great for them. If someone has issues with glucose levels, then maybe cutting out carbs a little bit or placing them in a smarter way might be a good thing. But for the majority of us, we don't need to start dieting. It's just messing with our head and our relationship with food. So guys, start educating yourself and don't start to look for the next best diet to do.